Bright Demoji, Member of Parliament for Botiano English and Mumford, has joined me, and thanks for joining us. I know you're very busy because you've been approved by the vetting committee, haven't you?
Not yet.
Oh, you haven't gone. Oh, Greater Accra has not been taken. Okay, so you're on the ground.
Yes,
you're doing
a lot of work. On the ground.
Great. And your General Secretary is saying that for those who may not be perhaps approved by the vetting committee, they should not contest as independent candidates. That would be very much, well, not necessarily gagging the individuals, but a novelty, so to speak, if the party is able to pull that one off. Wouldn't you think?
Yeah, it's a moral situation.
Okay. So it's a moral choice that people have to make.
Yeah, it's a moral situation that is the General Secretary is trying to give. It has no legal basis. But the bottom line is that if you are a member of the party and you have been disqualified for one reason or the other, yours is to go back and do your homework and come back next time. Because basically I believe that politics is about loyalty and commitment to the cause. So if your loyalty and commitment to NDC is there, then the issue of independence is not an issue. You need not even to contemplate about it because most of the people that will be disqualified this particular year maybe because the last time you to go to independence or you join another political force. It's one of the bases for disqualification. So if this time around you've gone to another independent again, then means that the next time you don't want to still contest on the ticket of the party. You understand me? So you just have to learn your lesson. If there's some mistakes and they're asking you to go and correct it, except that there are constitutional issues that you need to resolve, which maybe we cannot resolve them if they are constitutional issues. But maybe because you have gone for independence the last time, or maybe in the process of filling the forms, you make some mistakes and all that. Because what we are hearing is some people sit in the house and they decided to organize their own signatures and all that.
Okay.
That's completely
we do understand. Those ones will be forgery.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we've had precedents in the country, Mr. Kukufu, where we've had notable members of even your party, his party, they decide to contest independent, as independent candidates. They come back the next year and they have been approved. I don't know, is the regulation, for at least for all the parties, debarring such people that for the next 4 years from contesting? Is that what it is? Because let me give you, we have the current Member of Parliament for Bekwai. We have the current Member of Parliament for Ashaiman. He contested in the year 2000 as an independent candidate. So that also goes for him as well.
Yes.
We've had Shaba, in Koko. So.
Yeah, the issue of independent candidate is the right of every
and then the parties accepting them back.
Yeah, the parties accepting them back. You see, it is not only those who will be disqualified who will be contemplating on going on independence. There might be even a certain MP who might be defeated at the polls and may decide that for the reasons or for the circumstances, he should have still run, and he thinks the people still wants him. At that point, he may decide to go. Generally, the party rules, including my own party, has that you are not supposed to go there. I've listened to the General Secretary saying that immediately you go for independent candidate, it means you have, by your action and conduct, excluded yourself from the party. I'm surprised that he did not stick to that. Now he's trying to be a bit more persuasive in that direction because of what you just said. You get to independent candidates, you win the seat, and at Parliament, your party needs you. So the flexibility is there. You are picked on. You've given countless examples here. What is it that we're talking about? We're talking about representation of the people, the grassroots people. So if you go to primaries, it's like you are the lower court and you are defeated. I mean, you lost the case there. You take your case up there, you make an appeal, and this time the appeal is the general masses, the general elections. And if you should win, it means you've won an appeal. But that is the notion.
But that also jeopardizes your chances of, even though if you get back into Parliament, you will be on the side of the party which originally supported. It also dissuades you, or perhaps also retards you from back into the fold of your original party?
Not really so, but you've given examples. You've talked about.
Well, I have. It seems that now the status quo is changing. That's why I'm wondering why.
You're talking about the choir, talking about Simon and all those things.
And all these are on different sides of the political divide.
Yes. So the president is there, and it's quite appetizing for people to sojourn on that. I would have loved that you have as much transparency and openness, fairness
in the vetting.
In the first instance.
Did it happen in your party?
Well,
did you have instances where people may be independent and even though they supported your party would want to now contest on? Do we have any instances like that? Not that you remember.
I did not avert my mind to that, but it's natural. It happens. It's good. It's better. You do not run against your own party. But sometimes they...
Strategically,
it's
not good.
Yes.
Because you divide votes.
Well, Abekwai, for instance, there was no vote divided. Rather, he amassed en bloc. So the dynamics are different.
He won.
Yeah, he won.
He won as an independent candidate. Messi did not win as an independent candidate.
Well, that is the dynamic.
He rather divided the votes for his party at the parliamentary stage. Is that the rationale or the reasons why the parties try to, at least the two main parties, try to make sure that they don't tend to have the divided front when they are entering the main general election?
I mean,
besides the issues of loyalty and things like that.
The bottom line is that nobody wants to go to battleground with a divided front.
Yeah.
Nobody. No organizations would like to go into elections to a divided front, even in the electoral area. That's how come, even after election, you as a member of parliament, if you realize that there are 2 or 3 people who are affiliated to your party, even contested for electoral area elections and those assembly elections, and you know them to be your party members, you try to bring them on board and all that. Because nobody wants to go into election for divided front. So if your party member, because of the rules and the regulations, says that yes, if you contested for any better candidate in the last election, you don't qualify. But the person is a committee member, but the rule will not allow him to contest. Yours is to persuade him morally to join the race so that the next election you can have the opportunity. So that for that one, yes, it's an individual choice. As I said, legally, you don't have any ground to tell him not to contest. But the bottom line is that progressively, if you want to progress in the political party and get that kind of respect, then you must.
You have to join the fight.
Yeah, because honestly, it happens even in Ashama.
Yes.
And that's how come we can cite a lot of examples that if you look at the level of where those people are supposed to reach with regard to the political ladder, you get to a point people make it clear to you that you've been to an independent before.
That is your opponents within, your rivals within the
party. What you are going to contest for national position.
So you are saying at the end of the day, that questions your commitment?
Yeah, it questions your commitment and loyalty to the cause. Yeah.
Does that take away the concerns that you had at the time that prompted the decision you made to go independent?
Well,
because people had genuine problems.
Yeah.
They had genuine concerns.
Yeah.
They feel that things may not have been right.
Yeah. And then get people pushing you, you know, the electorate asking you to. You see?
Sections of the electorate in your constituency.
Yes, and people will just come in. Sometimes there have been instances where people have ventured into that to save the party itself. Yes, you might not take it. But then, just as my brother is saying, the commitment and loyalty to party has always been that no matter the situation, you take it in good faith and in good stride. You can lodge your complaints. You can put your feelings down there, and then look at the larger interest of your party and see what is it there. Yes, if I should go in, I may win. All right, but if I do not, and there is a split, then the opponent gets through. So you have not done anything. I mean, you did not win, and you did not allow your party also to win. So to be negative, I mean, in the whole exercise. So in the best interest of your party, and particularly your candidate, you may decide not to. But in this case, it goes beyond that. The party as itself should have a mechanism to address some of these ill feelings I mean, by way of calling people, sitting them down.
At the background, you mean?
At the background. I mean, assuaging their pain and then sort of judge it. But when you have a situation where the person is being taunted or something and left on his own and all those things, with all those aggrieved kind of sentiments within, then the person might as well say, okay, fine, that is my future, that's my going. But he touched on something of progressive development in politics. I do not know where it is coming from, because I don't think you get in there as an MP and you are hoping to get there as the president, the ultimate. I don't think that is the...
No, but you want to progress within, because you've taken politics more like a career, so to speak. Because at some point, you may have worked in a certain sphere in life, but once you enter into the political arena, especially in our part of a country, the continent, you're almost like a politician now. So whether you become president or not, you're still within the ranks and file of the party.
So progressiveness for me is not moving from MP to president. That is, for me, that is not it. Leadership at all levels, you can progress at all levels by making sure you have inner satisfaction of what you are giving out to your people. It's about representation. If you do it and do it well, it's a promotion. I mean, you are happy where you are. You can be the DC. That's why we have problems. People get to DC and MCs and they think the next line to go is for the MP, which is wrong for me. It's absolutely wrong.
All right, that's all right. I don't want to ask you. You have problems with sometimes your colleagues telling you that they are being contested by their DCs and things like that. Does it happen?
It happens.
Okay.
I mean,
it's normal.
See, but when I say progressively, that don't mean that even on the floor, even in Parliament. When you join Parliament, there are positions in Parliament that you need to take, and all those things goes with commitment. If you are going to be even maybe a minority leader, a majority leader, that your level of commitment to the party is also one of the key criteria they look at. So that's what I'm saying.
But you're not saying that having gone independent would debar you from one day, if you come back into the party and get into Parliament, being rejected or accepted as a leader in the party.
That's the point I'm trying to make.
I am
not saying that you reject. I'm saying that
it could be
your chances compared to somebody who's committed and lawyer.
The New Patriotic Party is okay. It's okay. No. The New Patriotic Party says it has submitted samples of additionally 2,096 separate cases of double and multiple registration from all the 10 regions to the Electoral Commission. And this is new. In addition, because you showed us cases, only 10% of work you had done, comparing the register of Ghana and that of Togo. And you got to know that a lot more of the registrants or those who voted in the last election found their names also in the Togo register.
Yes, this is no news.
It's no news?
No.
Oh. It means that you have just only in furtherance of your argument brought a lot more evidence.
And we are giving flesh to Electoral Commission's own assertion.
You are giving them flesh?
Yes.
More evidence?
Yes, more evidence. We are even saying, yes, Electoral Commission, you said it, and here it is, the physical evidence. Because the Electoral Commission itself came out openly to display multiple registration and all those things. Double registration. Yeah, it came up. And then Electoral Commission itself, per the chairman himself, the then chairman himself, came out openly to say there are minors on the register, showed their pictures and everything on telly, and that he has not the power, unless by court action, he cannot expunge those minors from the register. Didn't he tell the whole nation? So all that we are saying is that, yes, they were right, it's true. And these things are basis for a new register, the call for a new register. And we have gone further by our own to try to check these double registrations and multiple registrations to confirm what the Electoral Commission itself has and has come up with. So I don't see the reason why we shouldn't be upholding this kind of evidence. It is not new to Electoral Commission and Ghanaians.
On this
way. Now, so what's the percentage now? That's the first question.
No, this one is not percentage. This one,
we would like to know, because the 10%.
Mate, but this one, they've been able to go to all the 10. This one, it was only one region.
Yeah,
this one,
I want
but
to
they mentioned concerns they had with that. This one, they've been able to go to all 10 regions.
Yes.
And state specifically double registration and multiple registration.
So
this one excludes even the names you might find in the registration documents of neighboring countries. And we're bordered by 3 other countries.
Yes. So that's the point I'm making. So for us, what have they reached now? What's the percentage they have reached now? Because when they did the first one, they have a percentage. So where was their percentage now? We want to see how they are progressing. That's
okay, this is also about 10%.
So, okay, so fine, no problem. So you say 10%. All that I'm trying to say is that, you see, when you are doing statistical analysis, you must be consistent. So all the points you make from the first presentation,
you should be consistent with.
You should be consistent.
So they shouldn't now come up with separate cases.
No.
Oh God!
You should come out with about the consistent, so that if we're analyzing, we can see them progressing in terms of percentage.
Mr. Deboje, can I draw the conclusion that you are claiming that separate cases of some 2,096 double and multiple registration are not enough for the register to be recompiled?
You see, the point I'm making is that I'm not the one who brought the first statistics out. And if you are doing a research of a data, you have your objectives. And the first objectives was spelled out. And they have come out with results. So we want to see progressively where they are reaching. So if they are able to come out with all the 10 regions, then they should be able to tell us in the first place. For now, we are saying 20% or 50%. But we should know. That's the first point. The second point is that, as said my brother, this is not new. It's not the news at all. Because the Electoral Commission itself came out to say that it's not the news.
So it buttresses our point too.
So it's not to
get
news.
the new register.
It's not news at all in this
country.
country.
Why are they running away from?
Nobody is running away. The point we are making is that all the conditions that are there before the double registration, have the conditions been changed? That's the point. And within the time space, within the electoral space that we have now, are we going to be able to change the conditions to make a new registration effective?
Where the conditions are what you're talking about?
The conditions I'm saying is that...
Is it time?
If anybody...
Is it money?
No. I'm saying that if anybody at all comes to this country and say that I'm going to register, what are the limitations to the person? Is it going to change the requirement to register as a voter in this country? What are the checks and balances? Has it changed? The answer is no.
Who told you?
I am saying
it has changed. The Supreme Court's ruling that you cannot use National Health Insurance card to register is there.
You see, the point I'm making is that is anybody walking into this country today and is having a passport, you can register. Is that not it?
Yes, has a Ghanaian passport.
All the requirements.
And we know, indeed there are non-Ghanaians who are having Ghanaian passports.
So
you are saying those conditions which could lead to this very situation of double registration, or people who are foreign nationals or aliens or not eligible to register, registering.
You're looking at the fundamentals. Okay. Then the second point. The second point is
third point.
The third point is that we have precedents of where or when we change the register. If you check from 2001, from 1993 to 2001, every time I thought we finish our census, then we go in for a new register. And it's been there. 2010, 2012, we had a new register.
So you're saying we should wait still?
So, no,
we should wait to 2020 before we change.
That's what I think.
Anyway, but the other argument...
We have changed the fundamentals, we have changed the conditions. Otherwise, all these things that we are saying, I don't have any problem.
Mr. Kokufu, you know, usually when these stories appear on the website, there are columns for comments from readers. And I was just coming through, I think on one of the news portals, some of the comments from the readers, and they were asking that really, if you're talking about a register with over 40 million people, and you have only cases of some 2,096 separate cases of double and multiple registration across all 10 regions, that is not a proper representation or an argument for you to stand on to say we need a new register. Indeed, if you have identified those separate ones, why don't you directly then go in for them and make a case for them to get expunged? That is, if they are verified to be double or minor registration.
Yes, it is not...
Because these ones we can easily locate, so we just go.
No, this is a representation figure, you know, a representative figure. Yeah, more are there.
Okay.
And you see, it does not take, you have a white shirt and you have spots of
dirt or black or
here and there. And you think it's not prudent enough to be picking them one on one. You just wash the whole thing and then get it clean up.
You are equating your scenario to the re-registration, is that it?
Yes. You see, I'm happy he also agreed with me that this double registration and all that things have been there. So why are we running away from the truth? Why are we playing ostrich as if everything is okay? That has been their position. They have always said that this registration, voter register, is the most efficient one and all those things. It is without any blemish and all that. Now you are agreeing with me, please. Now you are accepting the fact that it has been there. I have also told you that minors on it have been displayed openly. And the Electoral Commission has said, acknowledged and said it has no power to expunge them, even with a clear evidential.
Indeed, that very press conference I was there. I
Good.
want to cover it too.
So therefore, it means as it stands now, they cannot even expunge it. Suppose we were to go there and acknowledge them.
No, you can. You need to first, even as it is now, you need to go and indicate that this is a minor, this is a minor, or this is not a minor.
But with the court action, go back to it. It said until it should be a court order.
Yeah, but we can't initiate. Those are easy to initiate. Is that
no, why
they're not even rigorous, are they?
Why should we do this?
So we should just do a new one?
Yes, get a new one. And he was talking about fundamentals. Yes, if you don't know, there are clear-cut fundamentals, changes now that can be put in place. For instance, the machines that were brought in was to solve one of many critical problems.
Which is?
They identified three major. 1, foreigners on the register, 2, minors, 3, double registration. And the system, the technology we had in place, or we had, was able to deal with double registration. That is the major fact. So as to minors, as to foreigners, our system, our technology...
How do you check minors? Because minors, you put their data and everything. And if you have a biometric data of a minor, it will indicate whether the person is a minor or not.
Yes. But don't you know we have technologies that can determine people's age?
Yes, but I don't know if you're talking about bone marrow, MRI or something. Yeah, we have to end. My time is up.
Yeah, technology advanced, but even then, it means that when we all agree to go for a new register, then we find concrete solutions as to these fundamentals, that how to get rid of all those things.
It seems that the MPP is not alone in this argument. So they may, at the end of the day, ultimately win their case one day.
No, well, it's not about win or it's not about lose, but it's about the fact that what will be the result after all this.
Okay. A better register.
And the bottom line is that...
A better register.
The bottom line, and I want to make this point. I don't believe that anybody in the NDC says that this register has no problem.
Oh,
there's nobody in the
all right,
good.
Now, babe,
but the bottom line, they're saying that
is a member of parliament for Botiano, English Amanfro, and Henry Kwabena Kukufu is a member of parliament for Bantama. Thanks for joining me, gentlemen.
Thank you.